Despite significant allocation from the National Government Constituency Development Fund and GCDF, Manyata Secondary School, Ruai Ward, Kasarani constituency lacks basic infrastructure. Although 6.8 million Kenyan shilling was allocated for the construction of 4 well-finished classrooms, only one building is in use and students are forced to learn in temporary iron sheet structures. This raises concerns about potential corruption and misappropriation of funds made for education.
This is also a class. You can see, this is also a class.
Even the chairs are broken, The CDF has never been given us infrastructure.
A few steps away from Nairobi City Center, where government officials discuss education funding, lies a harsh reality of this school, Manyata Secondary School. Despite receiving millions in NGCDF funding, it remains in deplorable conditions. These are not the sounds of a modern school under construction, no, but the repair of our dilapidated iron structures where students must learn. Despite 6.8 million Kenyan shilling being allocated for quality classrooms in the year 2021-2022, there is only one building with 4 classrooms, one serving as the administrative block, while the other 3 are learning spaces, leaving students exposed to harsh conditions. Jacinta Nkipaya, a parent from Manyata village, paints a vivid picture of the struggle faced since the school started, initially being founded by the village parent to ease their children's burden of walking long distance since it began its operation in 2019.
Katika klasi za mabati na wengine hata wanasomea church ambayo hata ukiona wanasumbuliwa asubuhi, mara unakuta baridi inasumbua, mchana watakuwa na shida kusoma juu ya joto mingi. Alafu ukakuta saa zingine hata tunakuta kama wazazi, mimi kama mzazi nikiangalia naona watoto wetu wako wanaweza perform vizuri, lakini mahali wanakaa wanataka vitu mingi. Wanahitaji madarasa mengine, wanahitaji hata lab. Naona hata watoto wetu wanasomea saa zingine unakuta wengine wanasomea nje juu ya classes, hawana mahali wa kusomea vizuri. Kwa hivyo naona hawana mahali pazuri wa kusomea, naona vitu mingi, lakini tunashukuru sasa tunaona kuna process, but tunataka government atuangalie kama shule ambayo iko Nairobi. Tunaona sisi tuko Nairobi lakini hatuonekani kama tuko Nairobi. Tunaonekana kama tuko Ushago. Maybe hii shule ikae kama iko Nairobi. But tunataka Manyata ama ikuwe shule mzuri. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba kama mzazi watoto wa Manyata Secondary School waangaliwe vizuri.
These questions remain unanswered as parents and local leaders demand transparency and accountability in the use of NGCDF fund.
That secondary school, to us, when we walk around and see it, it's hell. Sometimes we ask ourselves, what is the work of the MP and what is the work of the CDF fund? Because that's National Constituent Development Fund. National Constituent Development Fund is money that is given to our MPs, and our MPs should give priorities where it's due. And probably when we look at our area, this is Ruai Ward. This school is made of mabati, iron sheets, corrugated iron sheets. These iron sheets, to say the truth, you cannot learn in such an environment. And this is Nairobi County, where people, when they hear that you're in Nairobi County, they know you have gone to a better school. Manyata looks more or less something that is deserted. In fact, this should be put under what we call places to be helped, because it is hardship areas. That is the word I was looking for. Because you cannot even differentiate this school with a school that is deserted where animals live. We can see our Form 4s living in a very useless iron sheets. The place is so dry. During the rainy seasons, it's a problem. During the sunny seasons, it's a problem. Like now we are in the sunny season. Enter those classes. It's very hot. Our students are suffering. Our children are suffering. Now, let us say you want to leave Manyata and go to another school. From here, Manyata, maybe to Drumville Secondary, it is 46 kilometers. From here, Manyata Secondary, if you go to St. George's in Avi, where our another secondary school is, it's about 56 kilometers. And if you live here, Manyata, and you go to Drumville, it's another 48 kilometers. Now, even if you want to change your child to a different school within our locality, how will that child get to that place? Inside here, we have no roads. In fact, the roads are like shambas. Watu wanatembea ndani ya matope. You can't walk going to school. Our teachers are finding it so difficult even to get to school to educate our children who have found it so difficult to walk to come to classes.
Imagine trying to study amidst the loud drumming of rain on a tin roof. This is the daily reality for Manyata Secondary School. Crammed into makeshift iron sheet classrooms, students endure extreme heat, leaky roofs, and frequent disruption. Though now being looked at, but for the longest time, the lack of basic facilities such as proper toilets and secure fencing has put their health and safety at risk. During my visits, students had different experiences studying here. Sources like the World Health Organization WHO and the National Institute of Health have highlighted these issues, emphasizing the importance of safe learning environments. During my time in the Ruai ward in September this year, the average temperatures range from about 12 degrees Celsius at night to 24 degrees Celsius during the day.
Let me say, I have been a teacher for many years, but I got a little bit disturbed when I came to a school like this one in Nairobi and realized that the students are here. They are in need of education. They are very, very enthusiastic, but they lack even the basic facilities to enable them be able to succeed in their education. Immediately after taking up the leadership of this institution, we sat with my board and tried to prioritize what the students first need. We came up with the first priority of an abolition block because the one that students are using is completely unhealthy. And when the public works people came, they almost recommended that this school cannot open. But we pleaded with them that we are going to do something through CDF, and I'm happy to report that through the CDF Kasarani, we have been able to be awarded a 16-door abolition block that is in progress. But over and above that, the school still requires an administration block. It still requires classes. Our junior students in Form 1 are in a church hall, which was here previously even before the school started. The other of the facilities are mabati structures like you can see behind me. The state is so deplorable. I can't imagine yes, a student concentrating in a classroom made of iron sheets. And even when you look at the iron sheets, they are very old. It's not something that was, it's like everything here has been donated. There's nothing new here. So I wouldn't imagine a situation whereby you expect these students to perform well in this kind of state.
Even the teachers are not spared from the challenges.
It is very odd.
Yes.
The teachers are also in a mabati structure that has no floor, and sometimes it becomes very, very difficult for them to prepare, even to concentrate, especially in very hot afternoons. So in short, this is a school that requires a lot of infrastructure development for the sake of the students we have. Currently, we have 230 students, and they are still coming in to seek for places. But we are sorry we cannot be able to accommodate them because we don't have adequate facilities. We have fewer classes than the students. We don't have laboratories. We don't have workshops. We don't have all those facilities that other students in other schools have. Our access road is very, very poor. And in most cases when it rains, accessing this school is a big problem. And we would call upon, the government to see how best they can be able to come to our assistance and be able to make the road accessible, so that even our children, our students can be able to access the school, our visitors can be able to access the school, and even parents can be able to access the institution. Sometimes I even pity the teachers who have to access the school in gumboots because there is a stretch that is very deplorable as far as transport is concerned.
The lack of clean water is another critical issue, with the school spending over 6,500 Kenyan shilling weekly to purchase water. The question remains, will the NGCDF fund ever adequately address the need of all the students? Reports show that Kenya loses billions of shillings annually to corruption, funds that should be directed to essential services like education. Human rights activist, among them David Karani, stresses the need for transparency, urging communities to play a greater role in auditing NGCDF projects and holding leaders accountable.
I think challenge ile ipo ni wananchi wahusiki kuhakikisha kwamba fedha wanazolipa kwa ushuru zinatumika vizuri. There has not been good public engagement with authorities because katiba yetu inatupa nguvu mingi sana. Article 1, sovereign powers belongs to the people. Yani kumaanisha kwamba nguvu zote ziko na wananchi. Kwa hivyo ni jambo ambalo wananchi wamesahau kwamba they can ask questions. Kwa hivyo mimi kila siku mimi narudishia mkono wa lawama kwa wananchi, kwa sababu mnapoitwa kujitokeza kwa public participation hawahusiki. Kwa hivyo unapata wale wanaokuja wachache wanasema zile vitu ambazo wanataka. Na pia hawahakikishi pia kuangalia miradi kama bajeti inapotoka, mnataka mjue pale kwenu mmetoa shilingi ngapi na zinaenda kwa mradi gani. Ni vizuri sana kama tungeweza kukua kama wananchi, tunaunda vikundi za kusema sasa kuna walimu pale nyumbani, pia kuna watu ambao wako katika kazi tofauti. Wengine ni engineers, wengine ni teachers, wengine they are retired, even in different professionals. Why can we not put up committees to go back and audit those projects that are being funded?
This school has no pipe to water, so we have to buy water. The principal has to buy water. We are never sure where that water comes from. We are not sure whether the water is contaminated or not, but it's like we don't have any kind of choice. So we appeal to the government, if there is something that can be done through CDF, through the Ministry of Education, we require a lot of assistance to help the children in Highway Manyata Secondary School.
So we are facing a serious threat to the future of our own children. I heard Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah say that he's not sure how the children will go to school on 23rd of January.
A heated debate unfolds in Parliament. Should the Constituency Development Fund be abolished? Senator Karongo Thang'wa argues that NGCDF has become redundant following the devolution, leading to fund misuse and lack of transparency.
Every constituency in their CDF, they have over 50 million for bursary, Madam Speaker. If you multiply 50 million times 249 constituencies, 290 constituencies, Madam Speaker, you'll get over 20 billion Kenya shillings. Every county has, every governor has an education bursary fund, which they put between 200 million to 300 million. If you do an average of 300 million, multiply by 47 counties, you get again over 20 billion Kenya shillings. The billion, over 20 billion Kenya shillings. That is 40 billion or 50 or 60. If you add the GAF, the women rep, they also have bursary. The president has bursary. The governor has bursary. We will get almost 80 billion Kenya shillings. Madam Speaker, why don't we just give this money to schools and make education free? Madam Speaker, why don't we take it direct to the schools and make high school education free of charge? I don't have to give an MP money to come and bring it to the village. We have M-Pesa.
This debate has extended to local leaders including Simon Halwale, the leader of Stage 26 Ruai Village, who strongly advocates for reforms.
I'm really appealing to our leaders. Please take your stand, make the leadership of this country, DP of this country, the president of this country, and even the governor of this county accountable to make sure our place is developed. Ronald Kamwiko Karauri, he mandated you as the people of Kasarani, where Ruai Ward falls, and followed up on what should be done to this school, so that we change from these Mabati shackles to even a class that is made of matofali. MCA James Kariuki Karis, you are our ward representative MCA. You see, you have always told us that you sit with Governor John Sakaja in the city hall. Have you gone to his table and told him, really, I have a school called Manyata that is really in shambles, so that we can even have a legacy from you and as MCA to even know who you are putting in the office? People who have at their heart these children of ours, this locality of ours, these schools in our areas, so that we can develop them to meaningful schools. Karauri, you came in the office. Things have come to a standstill. Do you tell us that CDF is not still receiving money to help our constituents and more so our ward that is in disasters like this?
Karungo's call for reforms had sparked a national conversation about the future of CDF. As communities like Manyata continues to struggle with poor infrastructure, the need for transparent and accountable education funding system becomes increasingly urgent. Meanwhile, MPs have strongly opposed abolishing the program, urging instead for increased NGCDF funding.
This is a fund that has benefited many Kenyans. Many parents have taken their children through school, through secondary school and university using CDF. Classrooms were built in many schools. Police stations were constructed, Mr. Speaker. And all those things are on the ground for people to see. So what makes a Kenyan in his own senses, in his normal sense, to go to court so that CDF can be abolished? Mr. Speaker, some of the reasons you will be given is that, now we have devolution. We don't need CDF. Mr. Speaker, we have been having CDF, devolution now for the last 10 years in this country. What lives have devolution changed, Mr. Speaker?
Hatuna equalization fund. Watoto wetu lazima waende shule. Give up watoto wao wataenda wapi baadaye, si ndio? Hizi shule tunajaribu kujenga. Hapa secondary bado tuko na darasa ya mabati. Na tuko Nairobi. Hizo shida, nataka kushukuru His Excellency the President aliongeza pesa 1 billion shillings ya Nairobi na tunaendelea kujenga madarasa.
As the conversation around reforms continues, we hope this report serves as a call to action for leaders and communities alike to prioritize education as a fundamental right. A special thank you to all the parents, students, and local leaders who shared their experiences, as well as to the Thomson Reuters Foundation for their invaluable support in bringing this story to life. Thank you for making this production possible. My name is Zipporah Kariuki.